All right, we hit 50. I'm sure there's going to be some stragglers coming in. Oh, we're over 52 now. So let's get started. Uh, and there will be lots of time for questions. I'm also going to do as much live demos as I can to show you some examples. Uh, so let's get started. Um, oops. Who am I? Meet David Wolf. I'm the owner, founder of Just Solutions. I've been in the industry for quite some time. I'll let you read that, but you're welcome to connect to me on LinkedIn or email me. I'm a technology enthusiast. I love tech and everything tech. So I always like to get into this new stuff, whether it's starting a dial-up internet service provider back in the 90s and being one of the first to market in the Rochester area, doing web hosting and email and all the rest of that stuff, to starting my managed service business 28 years ago. And then getting into cybersecurity as that became a really big thing. And now AI has taken off. So um, happy to get involved in that as well. Lots to learn, lots to do, not enough time in the day. So here's our agenda. Um, I want to work on vocabulary because there's a lot of terms floating around, and a lot of people just don't like to ask vocabulary questions. So I'm going to go through them so that way you have a baseline of understanding when I'm using terms, what they mean. Even using the term ChatGPT, what does that mean? So we'll go through that. Then we're going to go through setting up a ChatGPT account. Now, most of you have already done that. However, I'm going to talk about the different types of accounts and levels of accounts as well. I'm going to teach you about prompts and what a chat prompt's all about, and how to make a good one, and examples of prompts. Uh, Using connectors, I'll explain what those are. Agents, I'll explain what those are, and then we will jump onto 5 demo practical daily use cases of how you should be incorporating AI into your daily ritual. Um, might be tough to have time for Q&A, but maybe if you have questions as we go along, I might be able to try to squeeze in answers while I'm doing it because there is a lot of material. What we are not discussing. We are not discussing social impact, good uses versus evil AI, environmental impact of data centers. Everyone's starting to freak out about all the giant ass data centers and energy it takes to power them. I will remind you that everyone thought the world was going to end when we started Bitcoin mining, and that was going to be destroying the world too. So we won't get into that. Technical implications. Quantum computing we're on the cusp of it. They've already developed quantum computers thousands of times, 10,000s of times faster than what we have today. NVIDIA is creating amazing chips. We're going now from CPUs to GPUs to NPUs, network processors, robotics, the politics of it, and then something I've coined, and that's real intelligence. And that is AI is great, but it takes real intelligence to put it to use properly. We're not going to get into that today. You're happy to meet up with me socially on LinkedIn or any of those kinds of platforms, and happy to discuss those things. The investments in AI are just mind-boggling. Hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars. I think we're easily reaching trillions of dollars in investment into AI and AI-related technology. This is bigger than I remember living through dial-up internet, and then broadband, and fiber, and all the crazy stuff that has grown. This is growing exponentially. It's a hockey stick ramp. The number of users adopting it and using it, the amount of data centers they're building to support it. Our demand for this technology is increasing exponentially. So I would suggest you ride the wave instead of get plowed under by the wave. Let's get into the vocabulary. GPT, first term. What does that mean? That term is a generic term. Generative pre-trained transformers. Now, this isn't your kids' Transformers, but this is Transformers actually originally developed by Google. Neural network technology, just really kind of advanced, trying to mimic our brain in terms of a neural network, and then training it. and that's what the pre-training means. So you're training it to do more than just repetitive tasks. You're actually trying to give it the ability to put things together, and it can process millions and millions of combinations in this blink of an eye in order to come back with incredibly accurate responses. GPTs, the plural version of that, is kind of an open AI branded thing. Now, OpenAI itself is a company. If you're familiar with Linux, that's an open source operating system. OpenAI is a consortium of people that invested into the company. It is still considered a nonprofit, although I don't know how long they're going to stay a nonprofit. But the goal was to bring AI to the masses and do it through an open interface so we can all take advantage of it. Workspace, that term I'm going to be using. Workspace refers to your personal environment where your chats and your files and your GPTs, which we'll talk about as well, how you can actually create some of your own, and tools are all available and organized. So your workspace is not Google Workspace. This is just a generic term, kind of like your desk space, workspace. This is where you're keeping your information. And we'll talk about how you are supposed to secure that. Memory. Now, we talk about memory and we think about memory in lots of different contexts, but when I talk about memory in the world of ChatGPT, I'm talking about the fact that it will remember previous conversations and history and information about you in your workspace and your previous conversations with it to use it to help answer future questions as well. This is also why we need to talk about security, because memory, you can control what it can remember and whether or not that's used in terms of its learning model or a large learning model. A chatbot. I don't know how many of you remember these, but they start out on the internet and you could, you go to Verizon, a window pops up and it says, ask me any question. And it can't answer anything because it's only, knows certain things. And if you don't ask it exactly like, what's my current balance? It can't answer anything because it can't really put it together. It's just kind of a chat conversation bot that is trying to simulate a human conversation. Very crude, but AI is completely changing that. What is an agent? An agent is like your personal AI assistant. Agents can be specialized to follow instructions or do specific tasks from start to finish for you. It's kind of like an assistant. And agents are what people can create for themselves or businesses can create as a tool that they can actually sell. You'll find agents coming along just like you, coming along in terms of you call into a call center and there's a agent that answers the phone. Well, I recently called somewhere and it was 100% an AI agent because it actually was better than a chatbot. It understood exactly what I was looking for and routed me specifically to the right person, first try, first attempt. So agents in the technology for digital receptionists and things of that sort, it's already here. But I want you to expand that idea of an agent because there's so many of them and you can create your own. The good news is you don't have to be a programmer to create agents. So I wanted to basically get you comfortable talking about ChatGPT is its own brand. A lot of people use it generically, but that's its term created by OpenAI. But if you hear about chatbot, that's not really what we're talking about. That's the older technology that is kind of going a wayside to the more advanced AI bots. So let's talk about ChatGPT versus the basic chatbot. So a basic chatbot, which is what we've been used to, whether you go to Verizon, the Spectrum, or some of these websites that have a chat on it, and they try to answer your basic questions about your bill, your account, things of that sort. Banks have them. A lot of people are doing that to try to improve customer service. That was the idea is you need help after hours, you could answer this chatbot and hopefully get an answer. I've never found them to be super really useful. But a lot of companies did it, and maybe it did answer simple things like what are the branch hours, or what is the address of the branch, or that kind of thing. So it could answer some basic questions, but it doesn't understand free text. It doesn't understand your conversational English, and it does not learn context. Like it doesn't learn who you are and remember who you are and continue that conversation. ChatGPT, on the other hand, actually learns from working with you. That's that memory feature that I'm talking about. So with memory turned on, it's going to learn what your title is, what your position is, where you live, things that you like. It's going to build knowledge about you. So we'll have to talk about that big brotherish type memory and how to protect ourselves on that. So what makes an agent different from regular ChatGPT? Well, regular ChatGPT just responds to your prompts. You type in a conversation, and we'll talk a lot about prompts, and I'm going to help you understand prompts, and give you lots of examples of prompts. There are people out there selling books and guides and all kinds of things to sell you on how to create a prompt or write a prompt or the best prompts to use. I would be really leery of spending money on any of that, and I'll show you why. Because you really just don't need it. So you'll see a lot of things on the internet saying, hey, we've got the best prompts for you for this or that. You should, buy our book or buy our guides or our quick guides, and they're selling you stuff for $20, $50, $100, whatever, to try to get you to figure that you'll do better with their prompts and that type of thing. But I'm going to poo-poo that and show that. The other thing ChatGPT, regular ChatGPT does is doesn't follow multi-step goals. Like it doesn't follow a sequence of events to complete a process. That's what an agent can do. It also doesn't automatically use tools and APIs. It doesn't have history for specific instructions in memory unless you really customize it. So you can start to see the difference of why you may start with a ChatGPT, which is the level 1 stuff that we're doing today, and then moving up to I would say level 2 is really building an agent or using agents. Now, you don't have to make your own agents. You might be saying, Dave, I have no desire to be a programmer. Well, I'm telling you, you don't have to be a programmer. It's got nothing to do with programming. It really is thinking through the logical process of how you would want to accomplish a task. No different than if you had to give an employee instructions on how to do something. So if you think of any repetitive tasks, such as teaching a receptionist, well, when a call comes in and they ask for this so-and-so, this is where you transfer. If they ask for this person, this is where you go. If they're not sure who they want, you can send them here. If you think about how you would teach an employee to do something, that same thought process is what you build into an agent or can build into an agent. And it's for any kind of task, whether maybe it's posting accounts receivable, maybe it's posting payables, maybe it's scanning documents and filing them. I'm just telling you it's boundless, the potential of these agents and what people are going to do with them. Software companies that you're using, maybe your accounting software, maybe your ERP solution, your Salesforce, all of these companies are going to be developing agents. There are agents already for voicemail systems and these accounting systems that are going to help do specific tasks for you. So think of the process where one of the software solutions that we've been working with, Square9, which is a document management system, has added AI. So what it can do, it can actually read that document, and not just OCR, which is the old technology. It can actually read the document that just came in via fax or email. I know fax is going away, but comes in through email or scanner, and now it files it because it can actually read the document and comprehend what it is and put it in the right folder, put it in the right vendor folder, post it to the right accounts payable, index it based on the invoice number. So agents are really powerful. You're going to see tons of things coming out with agents. And that's going to be hard to keep up with. And I'll explain how you use AI to help you keep up with AI. So let's get started with ChatGPT. Now, maybe you've already created an account, and that's great. If you haven't, this is the step-by-step. Again, you're going to get these slides sent to you as a PDF, so you don't have to take notes on this. On how to actually do it, but I do want to explain the differences of the accounts, and I'm going to go through that. So the first thing you do is you go to the chatopenai.com website, and you click sign up. You can sign up with your email address, or you can use the single sign-on feature of Google, Microsoft, or Apple accounts, and do that linkage where it's using whatever your account is with Google, your email account with Microsoft, Apple, Google. It can link it that way, or you can do it directly with another email address. So you can do single sign-on with those other accounts, and you enter your email address. That's step 1. Step 2, it's going to do a verification. Create a strong password. Please use password phrases. Don't use anything shorter than 16, 20 characters. I'm pushing for the longest length. And then once you do get your account set up, I also recommend you turn on multi-factor authentication or passphrase. But use a strong password. It's going to send you a verification to your email. You're going to click on that to verify your email, and you're also going to provide it with a phone number for verification. So then you can do a multi-factor to your phone as well. But I highly recommend that you pick a strong password. Do not reuse passwords. These are all the security things I teach in my other seminars. Then you verify and choose a plan. I will tell you right now, I am not teaching anything today that is based on the free plan. So I'm just warning you right now and give you a heads up. Everything I'm teaching today about ChatGPT assumes you have ChatGPT Plus or higher. Why? The free plan, one, uses the older technology, which is dated, which the learning model is dated, and it's not really being trained new. And two, it shares that information. Technically, it's sharing back with the learning model, and it loses all kinds of advanced features. So the free is just that. It's a teaser. It's something maybe you could give to your kids to play with, but I wouldn't really recommend the free plan, especially for business. So I am focusing on the business uses of this, not the personal use case. So we're going to be talking about ChatGPT Plus and the other applications. Once complete, you're taken to the ChatGPT dashboard, which is their web dashboard. You can do it, and you can also download the app. So tips for new users: bookmark that URL so you can get to it. You can also download the ChatGPT for your desktop or the mobile app. They have a mobile app for iOS and Androids. You'll use the same login, whether you're on your desktop or the mobile app. And it will save your chats. If you have memory turned on, it will save the information. So whether you're on your phone or your desktop or the web browser, you'll actually be able to get back to the chats you've already done and used before. Free plan's great to start, but GPT-4, now there's some additional letters after that, has way more capabilities. And I would really, if you see, consider the Plus. That's their sales pitch. Again, this is not me selling it. I don't make a dime on you buying this. But to really unlock the ability to do image creation and advanced tools, you need the Plus or Pro or Teams. Okay, I want to show this. This setting is available on all your accounts. This is where you have to go to turn off it learning from your information. This is very important. So I don't care whether you're on free, pro, plus, plus, pro, teams, whatever. This improved the model for everyone. Really kind of an interesting question, right? It doesn't tell you exactly what it means, but you want this to be off. If you have this on, then it's sharing and using anything you put into the chat, any knowledge you share, it's building that into its learning model. So you want this turned off. It's a very innocuous question, but there it is. You got to flip that off. Then also merging your data from your personal workspace. This question pops up when you have a business account like Teams, and whether or not you want to merge your personal workspace with your business account. I personally have two workspaces. I have the Just Solutions Teams workspace, and then I have my own personal David account with my personal information. I did not merge those. I can go back and forth. But I wanted to show this. This is the important setting for data. Again, whether you have memory turned off does not change this, meaning memory is for your benefit. Memory is not shared unless you have this turned on. So just because of a workspace and have memory enabled, that's making my life easier in terms of sharing information and uploading things. So let's open up something. So I figured, what the heck? I'm going to teach you how to do prompts. Actually, I'm going to teach this section. I'm going to teach you about Teams, ChatGPT for Teams. This is the business term. This is not Microsoft Teams. This is not that type of solution. This is Chat's shared business version called Teams. So let's open up the slide deck that Chat built for me. So Chat helped me build this slide deck. I wanted to show you AI in action, so this is it. This is actually a presentation built by ChatGPT. I added my logo to it. I used Copilot in PowerPoint to play around and create a little better graphic design, but it's pretty rudimentary. So I'm showing you the tool, using the tool, and then explaining you Teams. So what is ChatGPT Teams? This is the product you should be using for your company. This is a company version of Chat. It's not a lot more money than Pro. It's maybe 20. It goes, I think Pro, it goes from $20 a month to 25 for teams. Um, I'm happy to help you with with learning how to use Teams for your company, but that's the product you want to use. So it's for businesses or organizations. It allows you centralized billing and admin. So if an employee leaves, you can disconnect their capability from getting to that workspace and that memory that is the company memory. So you goodbye, you click them, they're off, they no longer have access to the information. It also gives you access to their advanced tools. And then you can also do a lot more in terms of secure and collaborative work. I've been asked a question from someone recently that I was teaching this to, and they said, "Hey, Dave, does this mean someone else on my team can see my personal workspace and my information?" Absolutely not. That's not what this does. This is this is not giving them access. It's allowing you as a company to create access and shared access to central memory, central repository. So it gives you access to like Galley, which is a graphics program. It allows you to add, remove users for building and set up permissions. It allows you to set up custom GPTs that your employees can use. You can build internal use ones, like a accounts payable workflow or a ChatGPT on how to handle a irate customer or what's the credit process or review process. You can literally build all kinds of process and procedures and automate them inside of ChatGPT for teams for your business. Chats are private and they are not used for training. When you see this not used for training, we're talking about training the large language models, the LLM. We are not teaching, we're not teaching the system using our information. So chat is not gaining information about us and sharing that information with our competitors. We are not going into asking chat questions about our competitors, and it's reading into our competitors' workspace and bringing back and answering us. Like, what was their profit last year? If it's public information on the web, it will tell you, but it's not going to go read it in their workspace. So it's very important to understand that data and security is much more enhanced in the Teams version. What Teams is not? It's not a shared inbox. It's not your chats. Files are not private. This is what I'm talking about. It's a shared area. Admins can't view your personal history, and other users can only see what you choose to share. So it is very specific to that. Real world cases. Again, I like this little presentation because this is built from right from ChatGPT. I said, hey, give me a slide deck that explains what chat for Teams is all about. Generate email follow-ups from CRM notes. You can teach it that. You can onboard new staff with internal processes. You can have it analyze and summarize Excel files, things of that sort. All these things can be worked out right from your workspace. So Teams is a powerful AI collaborative. It gives you privacy, security, allows you to build custom GPTs that all your employees can have access to. Each person controls their own data and their own sharing, and nothing leaks out to the rest of the universe when you're using the Teams platform. That's the end of that, and then it should pop us back here. Hopefully you got to see that. When I switched, it didn't disappear, right? I really hope that you got to see everything. If not, I apologize. Let's see, I have a couple of questions. Let's see what we got so far. Slides aren't updating. Is that for real? Someone, did you not see that whole Teams presentation? Can I get a response back from somebody? Did that presentation not come across? Not seeing anything. Did not see the entire Teams presentation. Should have used Teams. Thanks, Zoom. I can't even get my Teams prompt up or the Zoom prompt. Good. Sorry, people. This is really annoying. See if sharing the whole screen works better. Is this where it left off on this slide? Can someone give me did you not see? I'm not getting a response from anybody.
No, we saw
Anyone?
up until you switched to ChatGPT.
Okay. So this slide deck,
Correct.
did you not see this?
Did not.
Okay. Um, you'll get the copies of these, but this presentation was made by ChatGPT. Sorry, I opened up and switched to another file. Can you see that now?
Yes, it says, what is
Okay.
ChatGPT
All
Teams?
right. Yeah, so this is the Teams version. This is for business. This is what I recommend for small businesses, medium-sized businesses, to use. It's price competitive to Copilot. Actually, I think it's less money than Copilot. Um, and I think it's way more powerful. So here's the presentation. There's only a few slides. You'll get a copy of this, but this was generated using ChatGPT. And then all I did was upload my logo to it, and then it built a nice Prezi for me. I did a little tweaking in Copilot with it, but Copilot did not want to generate the slides from scratch. So, okay, we'll come back here. All right. Sorry about that. Now we're back to the perfect chat prompt. Can you see that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So what is a chat prompt? Um, so like I said, there are people out there trying to make money off of you, selling you like guides and classes on how to build prompts and things of that sort. I don't think it's necessary. In fact, if you need help with a prompt, ask ChatGPT. So you'll feel like cheating all the time, but that's all you do. You basically want to give it clear, specific tasks. You give it a topic, you give it any kind of relevant information. You basically talk, you have a conversation. So you share that with chat. You even tell it the tone. I want it to be whimsical. I want to be friendly. I want to be professional. I want to be whatever. You can give it the tone that you want it to format the response back in. And then you can tell what you want it to look like a table or a graphic. I'd like you to generate a PDF. I'd like you to create a PowerPoint. I'd like you to create a chart. Um, it's literally a chat. And this is the point. Ask follow-up questions. You can literally just keep the conversation going, saying, well, that's not quite right. Can you do this or can you do that? Can you change this? Can you uh, change the coloring, change the font, whatever? You can literally just can you continue a conversation with chat and it will make adjustments to the response. So you're this is a conversation with an assistant and it's very polite. We'll say, oh, I'm sorry, let me correct that for me for you. So let me give you some examples. And I have another slide deck that was created by none other than ChatGPT. So I'm not taking credit for it. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. Tell me that you can see this.
Yes.
Okay. Now this is really pretty plain Jane, because that's what ChatGPT built. So the other one was prettied up by Copilot. So again, I'm going to do a different class on Copilot and teach you what you can do with Copilot. But ChatGPT still was able to build a suggested prompt. So let's go through and then we categorize it by the most common areas. So um, productivity and organization. You can say summarize this meeting transcript. So if you're linked to your if you have and I'll talk about connectors, but if you have your chat linked to your Teams, it can summarize a meeting. If you have a transcript that Copilot created, you could give it to chat and it can summarize the meeting. Copilot does some other things like reviewing your mentions in other meetings and things of that sort, but ChatGPT can do that now as well. Create a weekly to-do list based on these goals. All of these are examples. Draft a professional follow-up email for a job application submitted last week. It's literally just conversational, asking questions and being somewhat specific. if you need a class on how to write a prompt like this, you know, you don't. You should just be able to go in and say, okay, give me a summary of the book. Help me learn SQL from scratch. I want to improve this email. I want to rewrite our employee policy for this. I need a policy written for that. You name it, we'll do that. You want to learn? You want to learn something? Here, I want to learn Spanish in 3 months. Give me a study plan. It's limitless what you can do. I mean, these are all examples that chat gave me to give you of all the different things you can do with ChatGPT. It's basically saying, well, what do you want to know? What do you want to learn? What do you want to create? What do you want to do? Okay. So you'll get this as well. But if you don't need to go out and buy something that tells you how to write a prompt. Um, if you go back to my and I know I'm flipping through them because it literally is just all kinds of simple steps. Anything you say, see how short they are? They're not really long. You can give it more detail, and I'm going to show you some live examples of ones that I've done to show you. Um, but what's the best way to optimize the SQL query? If you're a coder, this is going to help you. If you're a copywriter, it's going to help you. If you're a graphics designer, it's going to help you. Maybe you're a party planner. Maybe you have to plan events for kids. You can have chat help you with creativity and ideas. It's limitless. Design a murder mystery party game. You name it, what you can do with it. It's crazy. So that's jumping out for that. But look what I said here. Clear specific task or topic, relevant information or background. I have gone so far as to upload different documents. You can upload literature. You can upload PDFs, contracts, and help it review it for you. Let's do a live demo, and let's do a live demo. Murphy showed up. Let's kick him to the curve. I'm going to try to do a live demo here, okay? So let's stop here and jump out and open up ChatGPT. Let's see how that works for me. So we're going to minimize this and minimize that and that, and all this other stuff. And I have chat built in on the desktop. So here's ChatGPT. This is the desktop interface that I recommend you download and use. It also has a version for that. Now, over here in the corner is this little diamond. This is where I am in the JSI team workspace. There's also personal account. Okay. Personal account is my personal account. I can switch back and forth between them. Now I'm in my plus account, or I can jump back to the team's account. So you can really do anything, either jumping back and forth between the workspace based on what your subscription is. Okay. And then you can have over here on the left, you can have history. I'm having a problem with my Nest doorbell, Wi-Fi issue. You can ask it. Here's a collection of emails series I want to do for email collection. Hold on for a sec. Okay. So what's on your mind today? You can ask it any question you want. Let's switch over to here. And you can have history on anything. So you can look at any project. You can create projects, which are a group of information. You can create custom GPTs. Here's an email that I got. And I'm like, is this legitimate? And I can ask it. So I posted the email. And then I came back and I said to chat, is this a legitimate email? And it says, no, it's not legit. You get a warning from a company. You're not sure. Is this legitimate? No, it looks legitimate, but it comes back and tells you it's not. So it's really amazing. Any question you want. you can build. You can have it draft anything you want. You can have it draft emails. You can prepare proposals. You can have it help you do measurements in terms of planning. If you're engineer architect, it can check things for you. It can check your work. You go down here under tools and you start with a new chat and you can basically add and upload anything. You can take a screenshot. You can take a photo. You can add photos or files. And then if you set up your integration, like I did over here, you can actually create connections to your storage. So I turned around and managed and set up where we could actually connect over here under our workspace. You can connect your Google Drive. You could also integrate to Gmail. You can also integrate to your Microsoft OneDrive, your Outlook calendar, SharePoint. You can turn on these connectors and actually share those and make them available for anyone else in the company if you're using the Teams version. So it's really kind of powerful. I'd like to see if anyone wants to challenge me for a question or a chat message. Can anyone have anything they like me to try to ask ChatGPT? By the way, ChatGPT will search the internet for you. And now, because of some previous copyright infringement issues, it will reference the sources like a bibliography, like you would on a paper if you're writing a paper, so you're not plagiarizing people. So if you want to actually work on on something, it will actually uh, and you tell it to search, it will actually come back and give you the references for it. So you can here you go. So now I can actually when it's I don't have it turned on, but you can actually it will talk to you. So if you're visually impaired, it can actually speak this to you. So it's literally coming back and giving me general questions about general culture, work environment, inclusion, belonging, and respect, right? So it's actually building a employee survey that I could use internally. It's not done. When it's done, I can also tell to turn it into a survey. I can actually ask it to turn it into a PDF. Okay. And all this is saved in my memory because I'm telling it not to. So I don't have to worry about losing this. And then also can tell it to read it out loud.
Creating a thoughtful employee culture survey
I
can help
tried
you
to do the
uncover
audio
key
passport.
insights
Is
into
that
how your
working?
team feels about their workplace, leadership, collaboration, and growth opportunities. Here are sample questions organized into important categories.
So you can actually do that. You can say, So now I said, comparison of buying, and then I can get more specific. I can come back and tell it, what I was quoted. So if I get a price from a car dealer, I can compare them. If you get 3 different offers from 3 different dealers, you can put all those 3 offers in here and say, hey, can you compare and contrast these for me and let me know which is a better deal? Because it's confusing. So if one's offering you this much down at this monthly price for this longer term, and another one's offering this versus this, you just can put it in here and it'll come back and give you all the answers and relate them to you. It also will help you look at it, does a comparison, financial comparison. And now it's just building this based on very general information, but you can really get specific and continue the conversation and drill down specifically into what your need is. So I've done such things as comparison of buying 2 things or leasing versus buy. That's why I use this as an example. You can do this for finance. It can actually upload financial documents, your spreadsheets, your Excel files, and help you analyze them. So this is like the biggest ultimate cheat. You can do pretty much, if you can think of it, you should attempt it. You should try with ChatGPT. You should actually try to ask it some questions and continue the conversation and get it focused. Loading information is very easy. It's literally just clicking the plus sign, adding files, and then you can go in and pick any of the files you have. It can see and access your OneDrive, your Google Drive. If you build those connectors, it will actually be able to search and look through that information as well, for anything related to that topic for you. So it can go back and look at the history there. Let's see, what do we have question here? The best strategy for wholesaling homes in Rochester. That's a great idea. You can literally ask it something like that and then come back. Let's go back and ask it. Let's do that. We'll come back. We'll start a new chat. And then I'll even just say Rochester, New York, so it doesn't get confused, but it probably knows I'm already in New York because it has history. Best strategies. Let's fix that. Fix that. Fixes my spelling. Oop. So if you have a new topic you want to learn about, something you don't understand, this can help you. I've used it to review contracts. Yes, I can hire attorney to do that as well, but I'm expecting the attorneys to go even a higher level. So I don't know what questions to ask. I can ask ChatGPT, what questions should I ask my accountant? What questions should I ask my attorney? It's going to help you. So here's talking about finding wholesale deals, pull lists from public records, direct mailing. By the way, when you ask it stuff like this, you can actually come back and tell it to do those things for you. You can say, can you go pull those records? You can use this as a sales tool. You can say, um, I have customers in XY industry and I'd like to find some prospects, other prospects in similar businesses in the same demographic or whatever. So whether you're a salesperson, you can use this. It's very powerful because if it's on the internet, it can find it. And if it have connectors to your CRM or things of that sort, it can actually search for that for you as well. So here's an answer to that question. One small question, lots of information coming back. Oh, here they call bandit signs. We're legal. We buy houses fast cash, right? You see those around town. And it gives you an example of everything. And you can literally go through this and then you can keep asking. But the good news is, depending upon how you have your setting, you can come back to this chat later and continue the conversation. So if you're doing an email to a client or to a vendor, you can continue that conversation. When they respond to you, you can come back and say, hey, I just got the response for them. How should I handle this or that objection? So you literally continue the conversation. That's why it's called a chat. And that's why it's called conversation history. If you want to turn around and come up here and delete the chat, you can. You want to archive it, you can. You want to add it to a project, you can. This is projects are just a way to group things together and then also you can share out a project to other team members. Again, if you give them sharing, then you're giving them access to that workspace area for that particular project. So that's another example. Let's see if did anyone else throw out. Let's see. That's a good question. Hey, you know what? Look, uh, sorry, Patrick. I'm going to show you my biggest cheat in the world, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to come back over here, and I am going to go in and start a new chat. Why am I starting a new chat? Because I'm not continuing this conversation. I really want it to be a new chat. Okay. So somebody asked me the question and I don't have the answer. Um, those are the three most popular. And then here's going to come back and give you an example. Now the question is there bias? Is there bias built into this platform because ChatGPT is answering the question about itself versus its competitors? That's a good question. But you have to be aware of this. This is where the real intelligence comes in. You can't assume everything you get back is 100% accurate, but here's going to give you a really good comparison. And then you can tell it go deeper. So it talks about the comparison. Obviously, it's plugging itself a little bit. And then here, they're saying, yeah, well, Copilot is using our platform, but it's wrapped around the Microsoft ecosystem, right? And then here it gives you examples of when to use them and integrating with them, right? So it's answering your question better than I could. And then you can actually delve deeper. Here now it's comparing the pricing. It wasn't even finished. You can tell right here because it's not, that's the pause button. It's still going. It's telling me what the prices is per month. So as you can see, Chat and Gemini price themselves below Microsoft a little bit. Sure, Copilot Microsoft is more expensive. So I just I use this daily. This will become part of your daily work life in terms of responding quicker, answering questions, doing research. Doesn't matter what your job is. It doesn't matter what department you're in. It can help you solve problems in any department. It help answer questions, help that conversation when you don't know how to answer someone. This will help you. This will help you answer them in a nice way and uh, basically formulate the email. Like I said, it's the ultimate cheat. Oh, we got more questions here. Look at that. This is awesome. You could actually take any question like this. This is an example. It's asking very specific question here. So we can come in and try that one. So it's telling us where all the locations where Diana Ross is going to be playing, purchasing tickets, and planning a surprise party. And then look at this. Would you like assistance booking the tickets or finding accommodations? It will help you with all that as well. There's going to be some real business implications too, and I'm not sure how that's going to play out, but The question is, are you going to be able to, is a business going to be able to pay to play? So you're top of search, top of feedback. I don't know. I mean, Google Ads, if Microsoft, ChatGPT just added a feature where you can replace ChatGPT to be your search engine, and do your search instead of using Google search. So, Google AdWords and all that kind of features, what's going to happen when you start using chat to do all your searching and all your results? Are you going to be able to pay to have chat put your business first as a recommendation for whatever type of service you offer? There's a lot of, that's the real intelligence side of it. Is, there's a lot of unknowns here in terms of what's going to happen, but it's going to come back and make recommendations for booking tickets, finding accommodations. So which ones does it recommend? What ideas, what restaurants does it tell you to go to? There's a lot of questions about how it's going to guide you and if it's going to be biased or not. I'm just sharing that because you just want to be a part of that process. You don't want to be left behind. You do want to make sure, one, you're using this as a tool internally for productivity gain. You are going to see a productivity gain for the amount of money it costs you per month per user. I can't imagine it not having a really amazing ROI. Any other kind of cool questions? Well, it's interesting. You can be AI products and robust data sources. That's why OpenAI. That's kind of why I lean towards OpenAI right now. It's because it allows you to build connections to any data source. So even if you have a proprietary SQL server, you can build a SQL Server connector that talks to your SQL server that processes the requests back and forth. So ChatGPT can actually delve into your SQL server and pull the information and use it in its analysis. So you really can uh, with the OpenAI and the APIs, again, not having to be a programmer because you can actually use the tools to help you build the tools. Which is kind of like mind-boggling. Like if you said to ChatGPT, oh, come on, something went wrong. Uh-oh. Yeah, Murphy. So how much computing power are we taking when we do all this? Too many concurrent requests. It must be a busy time. I have not seen this, but of course it's going to happen on the day I'm trying to do a demo. Let me switch to my personal. I don't know if that's going to be any different. They're both paid accounts. Oh, well, I think ChatGPT decided that I've made too many requests. I have not seen this before. I'm just going to open up the questions. Any other questions and answers? Let me go back to my slide deck. Um, and current slide. I guess uh, demo, question answers. Okay, I'll leave it up there. Any questions? Let's see what we got. I love this. ChatGPT's having outages today. Can multiple people use one license? Not that I can tell. You can all have your own free license, but when you get to the business versions, it's named users. Um, and you know, I, I knew this was going to happen today. Look what I said. Murphy was going to show up, right? Stay home, Murphy. I kind of felt like that was going to happen today. I guess it's just the way today has gone. I almost got hit by a car walking to get my coffee this morning. Almost got run over by a bicycle. It was a very interesting morning. Other questions? Let's see. Um, Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry for some of the technical difficulties, but I guess this is going to continue to grow exponentially. You're going to see lots more coming along in terms of AI. Use AI, start using it, start playing with it, start asking it questions. and seeing how it responds. I would really start the process now, get ahead of this, not behind it. And if you have a question, ask it. If you're not sure how to do something, ask it. It will answer it for you beautifully. And if you want it to simplify it, if you don't understand the vocabulary, just ask it. It will explain it. It's um, it's the biggest cheat in the world, and you're going to feel like a cheat sometimes. But I love it. I love the fact that uh, we have to learn how to drive and use this technology. So you want to be that person driving it right now. Will you go over other AIs? There's too many. This is an incredible race right now. I don't know who's going to be the big leader. The reason I worked with OpenAI is because it is the most generic, and there's going to be lots of platforms that build off of OpenAI because of its open architecture. Gemini is from Google. It's going to be really super powerful. Um, Meta has their version, and there are plenty of others. But I don't think you're going to just be using one tool. I have a feeling that you might have multiple, and you might have to even do some comparison. So I don't think I'm going to be the type of person that says, well, I'm only using this one AI tool. I think there's going to be lots of them that you're going to be using over time. And some might be built on different platforms like Watson from IBM. Look, Watson did the Jeopardy game how many years ago? And or did Watson play chess with the Masters not that too long ago, actually pretty recently. So this technology is growing by leaps and bounds, and there's not going to be any one leader. I mean, look at first to market doesn't mean you're the best. And look at Novell and WordPerfect and all these other products, WordStar, that don't exist anymore today. Things come and they go. Netscape is gone. Friendster is gone. Those kinds of programs are gone. And look, Facebook and Twitter and all these other things came along afterwards. So I think you'll continue to see um, lots of development in this. And I think you can actually use the search tools to keep you up to date. So I'm actually um, putting in the system to send me alerts for new AI technology and things of that sort. So I can read through those articles and things of that sort. So I don't think there's any one tool or one AI engine that you're going to use. I think you're going to you don't use a hammer for every problem. You don't solve every problem with a hammer. Sometimes you need a screwdriver. Sometimes you need a saw. So tools are tools, and you're going to want to pick the best tool for the job. And that's why I think there's going to be lots of different agents. And I think sometimes you're not going to find what you want, so you might want to build your own. I was going to try to demonstrate building your own agent because you do not have to be a programmer. Um, so we'll take it at that. And I hope you got something valuable out of this webinar. I apologize for some of the technical difficulties, but that's par for the course. That's why I'm in business. If things always worked, I wouldn't have a job. But thank you very much. Thank you for joining us today, and look forward to you joining us in future webinars.